Yo, what's up guys, it's Res, and in this video I want to go over an updated Mayhem 11 Phase Zerker build. Now before I get into it, I just want to say really quickly, thank you all so much for 5,000 subscribers. It means the absolute world to me that you guys keep coming around and watching my videos and showing support. I never thought I'd actually be where I'm at right now when I first started uploading videos, but you guys are seriously starting to make my dreams come true. My goal for 2020 was to reach 5,000 subs before the end of the year, and we hit it in November. So I seriously, like I said, thank you guys so much for all the support. It really means the world to me, and expect to see more content coming soon. So for this video, I wanted to take a look back at my very first Borderlands video I posted, going over a theory crafting build before the game even launched. Today I want to talk about a build for Amara that I am calling Elemental Control, and take that and put it in today's standards or meta and make it very, very viable. So this is the Amara Elemental Control build. This is one of the best builds in the entire game from Amara. If you are tired of melee builds and you want to use weapons on Amara, this is 100% what you want to run. The damage you get from this is absolutely absurd, and with a bunch of the new arms race weapons, it makes this build disgusting. So if that interests you, as always, my builds are located in my Discord channel if you'd like to download them. The link for the Discord would be in the description. If you download the build, enjoy the video, or find it helpful in any way, consider subscribing and dropping a like. It's free, and it's what allows me to keep making videos like this for you guys. And hey, I don't plug it that often, but I also have my Twitter and Instagram down there if you guys would like to follow me on there, because I'm going to start and try to actively post on those as well if you want to keep in touch with me. But once again, thank you so much for 5,000, and I hope you enjoyed this build. Now, starting off with gear, I just want to say you can run whatever gear you want to run. You don't have to specifically run this. There are going to be other absurd weapons that are going to perform just as well with this build. This is just what I like to run. Now, a weapon I would highly recommend everyone getting is the Plasma Coil. I'm telling you right now, this weapon was made for Amara. This weapon is absolutely absurd, and it just destroys everything on Mayhem 11. So as you see on the anoint we have, while under 50% health, you deal 150% bonus radiation damage. This anoint is going to matter for a couple of different reasons. Obviously, one, the damage you get from it is absurd, and URAD is used in almost every single build now because it scales to everything and it applies damage for literally everything. It is very, very good and very, very powerful. Now, the Plasma Coil, if you don't know, essentially is just going to shoot out this burst of ammo very, very quickly, and you can buff this on Amara like crazy. Now, to help proc URAT, we're going to be running a front loader right here, and as you see, we have on Axis Go End, our cooldown rate is increased by 20% for a short time. Now, if you don't know, a recent hotfix actually changed where you can't Fate Grasp proc ASCs anymore, so they are not as valuable on Amara anymore. You can 100% still make them work due to Phase Grasp just killing everything instantly. But if you want a more consistent build, I guess, so to speak, you can run this. Now, I do have other shields over here included with some ASCs, but this is specifically for bossing all front loaders, because obviously you want to proc URAD. But this is going to let you have, you know, the different elements if you're going up against a boss, or if you just want to run this, get a level 65 version of it, and you'll be good to go. Now, same as the grenades, I'm running Its Piss. If you don't know, they apply debuffs when you throw them, but Its Piss grenades are just really, really good. And so these also have all the different ASCs, but on this one, I have on grenade 30, you get weapon damage, grenade damage, and access skill damage. This is going to be very good for just general play. It's like I said, with the ASC change, when you go into a fight now, you're not going to have your ASCs proc, and you have to start getting kills to chain that up. So this overall is just going to let you keep getting your access skill faster, keep doing a lot of damage, and this is going to just give you more damage when you throw your grenade. Now with these weapons right here, the Tizzy, I have one of each main element, and as you see, we have the same exact anoint. While in 50% health, you do 150% bonus radiation damage. These are insanely good for bossing. They're also good for mobbing. These guns are just insane in general, but they eat ammo up like crazy. The point of this gun is to just do an insane amount of DPS really, really fast, but it's gonna chew through your ammo. And when I say that, I mean it literally chews through it. Like, you will run out of ammo like in 15-20 seconds if you're spamming it. But this is, like I said, insanely good for bossing. If you want to farm any bosses in the game, definitely just use these. It's going to make it really easy. And like I said at the beginning, there are other good bossing weapons if you want to use those as well. Just make sure you have a URAT anoint on them, and you will do just fine. But now, to help with the ammo consumption of this, I do have a cut purse launch pad right here, so you can easily just refill your ammo by slamming on the ground. The rockets are going to go out and hit enemies, which will refill all your ammo, so you can use these a lot more often. But you really just want to use these for bossing, and half the time when you're save quitting and boss farming, there's venom machines beside the bosses, so you don't really have to use that. And the Plasma Coil is just never gonna run out of ammo. It is just all around one of the best SMGs on Amara. It has insane handling, insane reload speed, insane damage. It's super fun to use. It's super good. Like, I'm telling you, this gun is just, it's probably the best gun in the game for Amara. Like it literally is so fun. But then to help all this out, you have the Pearl of Ineffable Knowledge, which gives you a stacking damage bonus. You get 1% per stack, and at 15 you get an additional 90%. This one also is giving you more fire rate and magazine size, which is really good for all your weapons. And the damage is just gonna make you melt stuff even faster. And then finally, Phase Circle right here, we have one with +5 in Conflux, which I will talk about in a second when we get to the skills. So this one gives you more splash damage, more weapon damage, and more axe skill cooldown rate. You want to get your axe skill back as much as possible, so having this plus your shield giving you the axe skill is going to be really good. Now, if you don't know, this weapon also causes splash damage. Not only does it do elemental weapon damage, it also does splash damage. So this is getting buffed by splash damage and weapon damage right here. So I'm telling you, you can build this plasma coil on Amara, like, and for it to just be literally absurd. Now, getting into the skills, I'm actually going to start in Enlightened Force because I only have 5 points in this skill tree. But 5 points in heavy range, so Amara's weapons gain increased projectile speed and splash damage. 70% projectile speed and 35% splash damage. Now, this also is giving you access to the cold-hearted action skill element if you need to use it ever, which is nice. But the main thing is, this is the plasma coil skill. If you don't know, basically this thing is going to shoot projectiles out, and look at how fast they go. It's literally almost like a sniper. It is crazy. Then obviously the splash damage is giving you more splash damage, which is really nice because the plasma coil does splash damage. Now, Mystical Assault, this is, you know, the bread and butter of Phase Zerker class mod builds. 5 points to do harm. Same thing, this is still going to buff your damage. They did change it to where only weapon damage and melee damage can get scaled with Ties That Bind, and we're going to be using Ties That Bind for the most part in Phase cast if we you know, are going against bosses. But main game, we're running Ties That Bind. The links from it are going to get buffed with Do Harm, which just gives it a stupid amount of damage even after the change, and you're still just going to be able to melt everything with this. 3 points of Fast Hands, get more reload speed, weapon swap speed, and motion speed. This is really good for the plasma coil as well. It just makes it more fun to use. 1 point Violent Tapestry just to keep our rush stacks up, and we need to get down to the bottom. 3 points to Transcend, so we get 38% more accuracy, 27% more critical hit damage whenever we use our action skill. Really good. This is a very good bossy skill, and it even works for mobbing when you're phase grasping enemies. 2 points in Alacrity, so we get more reload speed based on the amount of rush stacks we have. Very good. 1 point in Ascendant, so we can buff whatever augment we're using, and I'm going to be running Stillness of Mind. This does increase your cooldown, but with the amount of actual cooldown rate things we get, it really doesn't matter. You're going to have around a 4-second phase grasp at all times with Stillness of Mind. So this is going to just easily let enemies lock up in the air and just kill them. And the best change about this is Mayhem 11 not having any modifiers. So now when you phase grasp an enemy, literally everybody's going to get locked. There's no buddy systems. There's no immunity things. Literally anything that's affecting them to not die. You are just straight up doing a ton of damage to them, and they're all locked up in the air, and you can absolutely add clear like crazy now on Amara. Literally the change from Mayhem 10 to 11 has made Ties That Bind so much better, because you don't have those random aspects of the game just letting you not kill an enemy. It is so good. Now, 3 points of Lay Bare, so we can buff our Ties That Bind damage. This is also going to buff your boss scene as well. If your phase hits a boss, it's going to have a 25% debuff, which is really nice. 3 points from Rest, so we get more fire rate and 44% more charge speed. Again, if you don't know, the plasma coil right here has a charge speed, so if you get that up, you're pretty much always going to be able to shoot this over and over again, and it's going to become nearly automatic. Now, the fire rate's also very good for both Tizzy and plasma coil. Obviously, that's just going to increase your DPS more. 1 point Remnant, so we can spawn an Overkill Orb. This is essentially just going to take whatever damage you're doing, put it in an orb, and go out and just instant kill another enemy. It's really good for 1 point. 3 points in Awakening, so we can buff all our rush stack effectiveness, which is really nice, which just means more damage. 1 point Avatar, so we can use our Ties That Bind twice for a cooldown, and we get additional rush stacks, which can get us up to 25, which is going to buff all our damage, our reload speed, status effect chance, axe skill cooldown rate, and weapon damage as well with the Phase Zerker. Getting into Fist of Elements, I have 3 points in Steady Hands to get more handling and accuracy, and the reason I'm putting 3 points to this is just to help out the plasma coil even more. It just makes it better with just 3 points right here. You could put 5 in Infusion if you want to, but honestly, I don't want to put too much in Infusion because I don't want to have my weapons getting taken over by elements, you are going to have access to all 4 elements, so it's not really that big of a deal for bossing because you can just swap whatever element you need to use for the boss. But 2 points is fine. It's going to give you a little bit more damage, and it doesn't really hinder any sort of playstyle. But 5 points on wildfire, so we can have a 40% chance to spread our elements. This is actually going to help proc things like purple and Outflow Knowledge, and you have things spreading everywhere, which is really nice. 5 points of tempest, so get 30% more elemental damage, 20% more shock damage. 5 points for this is just really good. You get bonus damage, which is really nice. 1 point dread, so we get more gun damage when we face grasp enemy, and we kill an enemy, our gun is instantly reloaded. Really good skill for 1 point. 1 point deep buff, so we can buff all our elemental weapons magazine size by 20%. Really good for all our weapons. 3 points indiscriminate, so whenever our bullets hit an enemy, they have a chance to ricochet. This is even more so buff into plasma coil, so now the plasma coils can just ricochet everywhere. 1 point in catharsis, so whenever we kill an enemy, this is going to trigger a explosion. This does get mayhem scaling. This will absolutely kill enemies if they're beside each other. And then on top of that, you're going to have a remnant orb come out and also go out and kill another enemy. Now with the class note, we have 5 points in conflux. This is essentially going to let you have a chance to apply another status effect to an enemy. This is going to help out with things like Harmageddon. If you don't know, Harmageddon is essentially going to give you a bonus damage to whatever element is on a certain enemy. So you want to apply as much elements to an enemy as possible. You don't just instantly kill them, so you can do more damage to them. This skill is just going to help out with that, and it makes it a little bit easier. Now, you don't have to have 5 points in this. You could have points in like Anima or even Clarity with your class mod. It's whatever. This is just, I guess, min-maxing to the best, but it doesn't really, it's not necessary. But 3 points of personal space to get bonus damage whenever you're close to an enemy. This has a huge radius, and you're pretty much gonna just always have this proc at all times, and it is absolutely disgusting for 3 points. 2 points of root to frost, which gives you more max health. This really isn't doing much. It's going to give you a little bit more shields because the front loader actually reserves your maximum health and puts into your shields. So if you have more maximum health, you're going to get a little bit more shields, but it's not like that big of a deal. 5 points in armor steal, so you get more splash damage and splash damage reduction. Splash damage is going to buff your plasma coil even more. 1 point in helping hands to get 12% damage reduction, which is just really nice. I have 1 point left over, so having a nice 12% damage reduction when you use your axe skill is always something good to have. And like I said already, you have access to all 4 elements. You have access to a lot of augments, and you can pretty much run this however you want to and be able to destroy anything in the game. Alright, well that's going to do it for the updated elemental control build. This is your best Mayhem 11 phase grasp, phase Zerker Amara build. This is going to allow you to get through anything you want to. You can run pretty much whatever weapon you want to on here. It just make sure you get a Uratanoid, and you're going to have a blast with this build, I promise you. I know a lot of people are getting tired of the melee builds, but they are the strongest builds in the game now, especially in Amara with her new skill tree. But this build definitely competes with that, and you don't have to use a single melee at all. Once again, I just want to thank you guys so much for 5,000 subscribers. I know I said it at the beginning of the video, but I just want to say it again because it really does mean a lot to me, and I truly appreciate it. Now we're on to the next milestone, which for now is just going to be 6,000 subs, but I think we can hit it together, and I hope you guys stick around to see what's coming. But that is going to do it all for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
I had to put my pride to the side. I know that the timing ain't